Hi there. This is a short workshop on half shoulder stands. A little while ago, my Hatha yoga students were talking about half shoulder stand, and I promised them that we would workshop it one day, and this is it. So here we are. So I think one of the easiest ways to begin working with half shoulder stand, vipariti karani, is to use the wall. So you're going to need some wall space that you don't mind sticking your feet on, and your sticky mat, your yoga mat, and also a blanket. I have my yoga mat folded in half here, pushed right up against the baseboard of the floor. And then I'm going to bring my blanket across the yoga mat, and my head is actually going to come off the blanket. Okay, so that's kind of what you need. You may want to even fold the blanket up just a little bit more. So there you go. So you have a little bit of a step here between the blanket and the yoga mat. And then we bring the legs up the wall. Maybe what I should first explain is that the elbows, when we're freestanding half shoulder stand, the elbows and this back of the upper arm is really the foundation of half shoulder stand. And it's nice if you can bring the shoulder blades together and make a little tunnel between the shoulder blades, and that helps to protect the neck as well. Now, if you're doing supported half shoulder stand, that's not so essential because you can give the weight of the legs to the wall, but it is fairly important once you're moving to doing this freestanding on the floor. The other important point to note is if you're not able, I have to be careful because I got the mic here, but if you're not able to drop the chin down and get this kind of flexion in your neck, then that is going to make it hard for you as well. Not everybody can do that. It really depends on your skeleton, on the bones, on the inside of your body. So if you are not able to bring your chin without rounding, if you're not able to bring your chin towards your chest, then that's going to make it tricky as well. And you're going to need more padding underneath the shoulders. And you'll only really know once you get up, and certainly if we were in a class situation in person, I would be able to assist you and I would see the issue and I could start putting blankets underneath you. But I do want you to be aware of that because that could be quite damaging to the neck. And not many yoga teachers know this because they haven't studied the anatomy, but not everybody can do half shoulder stand. So if that is a really quite important point, if you're not able to drop your chin to the chest and have this kind of flexion, then a half shoulder stand may never be in your repertoire. But you can always pad with blankets and create the space that you need in the neck with blankets. Okay, so if you have problems, you know where I am. You know my email address and how to get hold of me, text me, whatever you need to do. Okay, so getting the legs up the wall is the next challenge. Begin by having the hip right up against the wall. So here I am, I can't go any further, that's the wall. And I'm sitting on the edge of my mat pretty much so that when I swing my legs up and move back, hopefully my body lands on the mat. So here we go. Legs go up the wall, head is off the blanket. I've done this before, not my first time. The top edge of the blanket has come to the tops of my shoulders, head and neck. No connection with my neck on the floor here at all. Okay, so legs are directly up the wall. I know you can't really see my feet, but you don't really need to. Feet are about hips width apart at this point, and then all I'm going to do is bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet flat to the floor, now to the wall. Now, the biggest mistake I see here is that people do this and they bend the knees too much. All you need to do is bend the knees until you can bring your feet to the wall. Okay, so it's literally the length of your foot that you have to move the heels down the wall. And feet continue to be hips width apart. And then you can practice here pushing into the feet. There's no weight in my arms here. This is all in my legs. Pushing into the feet and lifting the pelvis off the wall. And that can actually be a nice massage for the whole spine. So maybe begin here, practicing pushing into the feet and practicing the sensations of going upside down. So very interesting if this is your first upside down inversion experience. Once you have become accustomed to having the weight in the feet, and as you can see, I'm already walking my legs up the wall here just to be more comfortable as I stay here in this supported half shoulder stand. So still no weight in my head, it's all in my shoulders at this point. From here, you might be several days or weeks working on this variation. It depends. From here, you would begin to move the elbows closer together and bring the hands to the back of the pelvis. This is called the cup and saucer. So the back of the pelvis is resting in my hands and pushing down into the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together as best you can, and then lifting one leg up off the wall. So I have one foot off the wall here, there it is, and the other foot is supporting. So you might be a little while here working on this, and then eventually taking both legs off of the wall. So at this point, the full weight of the pelvis is in my hands. And there's still no weight in my head. Actually, all the weight feels like it's in my elbows now. The weight of the legs are in my elbows. The other mistake I see is that people start to bring the legs over the head, and that's going to shift the weight into your head and neck, which is not really desirable for our half shoulder stand. So keeping the legs directly up towards the ceiling, staying here for as long as you are comfortable. And this is a very worthy shape to make, particularly if you suffer with hot flashes. This is one of the recommended shapes. Take yourself upside down every day for a few breaths to help with hot flashes. And then when you've had enough, you just bring the foot to the wall, then the other one. Release your hands and sink the pelvis down. And then you can take a little rest with the legs up the wall. So I think that's a really wonderful way to begin working with half shoulder stand and the inversion. And we'll give you some really nice feedback on what it's like to begin dropping the head below the heart and receiving all those cardiovascular benefits. Very, very restful for the legs, and just taking the legs up the wall is really restful for the legs. So there you have it. Coming out of this, always take your time, roll to one side, stay here for a breath or two, And take your time coming back up to seated. There you go. Quick tutorial on supported half shoulder stand. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions or any struggles with this at all, or if that doesn't work for you, let me know and I'd be more than happy to work with you on that. Okay, so please let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you for joining me.